News that's coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Top sources have told India Today that the FSL team has been examining the explosive for the past 2 days. The instability not caused the movement alone. Various factors like temperature, exposure to certain component also could have actually led to the blast that took place in Jammu and Kashmir. Top sources have told India Today that the forensics team was examining the explosive for the past 2 days. The instability is not caused because of movement alone, but there have been various factors like temperature and exposure to certain components. So that is one of the angles at the moment which is being probed. There are two angles which are being probed. So far, 9 people are dead and over 30 people have been injured. This was a blast that took place in Srinagar, in the Nowgam police station. This is the same police station which in fact was examining the 350 kilos of ammonium nitrate that was being seized in Faridabad. The investigative agencies were trying to connect all the dots. We have seen how there has been a big crackdown across Jammu and Kashmir over the past few days since the horrific blast took place near Red Fort on Monday. The examination was underway for the past 2 days of the instability was not caused because of movement alone. My colleague Kamaljeet Sandhu is now joining me on the story. Kamaljeet, from what we are understanding at the moment, sources have told India Today that the forensics team actually was examining this explosive for the past 2 days.
Well, high-level sources indicate to us that this particular chemical, ammonium nitrate, and there is another unstable component which was part of this particular explosive, which was being examined by a senior forensic team. Now, remember, even the best of the team sources indicate to us can actually have a mishap. This is a collateral or a professional hazard. But this is what really went wrong. That is something which is going to be part of investigation. Remember, at this point of time, no angles are ruled out, but sources indicate to us that the chemical was brought from Faridabad to Nowgam for investigation purpose. And that is where a senior FSL team was very much present. Remember, there's also the Tehsildar, the others who were present, and the explosion, because the quantity was so large, the explosion itself was massive, leading to 9 losing their lives, mostly all of them from Jammu Kashmir police. This is also including 2 photographers who were part of that particular building. But clearly, they're saying it could be temperature, it could be exposure to a certain component. This is where things could have been triggered. So at this point of time, no angle is being ruled out. But clearly, for past 2 days, the FSL team was examining this particular explosive. And remember what we've seen earlier also in Pulwama in Koel, where the house was brought down. This is where sources indicate to us was that particular explosive were also found in the house, and that is why the house was itself blown up. But here it is, a professional team which was looking and examining into this entire matter. That is what seems to have triggered this entire incident. But clearly, this is a professional team, because remember, Jammu Kashmir police has been at the forefront of dealing with terrorism, but examining it by experts is something which is also done
Right.
to look into various investigative patterns. But here it is, the FSL team examining it, and what could have really triggered it is something that sources indicate to us could be multiple factors.
Right, please, Kamaljeet, stay on with me. Gaurav Sawant is also now joining me on the story. Gaurav, from what we are understanding at the moment, this is a new module of terrorism that we are looking at. The government will now have a massive crackdown on this. Gaurav, both the angles are being looked at. One of the angles is that this is something that was being done using an IED. So there is a terror angle. The other is, of course, that something went wrong within the police station while they were looking at the ammonium nitrate, because of which this massive blast took place.
Both the theories are extremely worrisome right now. Either it was poor handling, inept handling, or the volatile material that was there. Because police, as Kamal was rightly pointing out, they're well aware of how this needs to be handled. And do keep in mind why this particular police station, Nowgam Police, was at the forefront of cracking down on this module. This was a very sinister white collar terror module. It was the Nowgam police investigations that led to the arrest of the Maulvi. From the Maulvi, the doctor, and from one doctor to the series of doctors. And before these doctors could carry out that deadly terror attack, they were taken into custody. Several were taken into custody, except sadly that Dr. Muhammad Umar, who carried out that terror attack in which, unfortunately, so many people lost their lives. But the second aspect, was it the ammonium nitrate that had been brought as case property, a vehicle that had been brought in according to initial reports? We're waiting for an official confirmation. Did that vehicle have improvised explosive device? Was another vehicle brought in and parked in and around that area? Because 11:20 at night, it's all peaceful, all silent, and suddenly a massive earth-shattering explosion takes place. There's a huge ball of fire, and including two officers, 9 people are dead, and there are several who are injured, some who are critical. More than 25 people are injured. So why were so many people there in and around the police station that time? Who are the people who are handling this? The officers who've been killed. So we are hoping in about 20 minutes from now, the first initial confirmation or information will come in from the Jammu Kashmir police and subsequently by the Ministry of Home Affairs, because more than 300 kilograms of ammonium nitrate. I mean, that's like the amount that was recovered in Faridabad, plus some more raids that had been carried out in Kashmir. Was it a counter strike by remnants of this module? Is also a matter of investigation right now.
Gaurav, it seems like the governments, both the Jammu Kashmir government as well as the central government, they will have to work together. They will have to come up with new ways to curb this new wave of terrorism that we are seeing. Jammu Kashmir, Gaurav, unfortunately, once again has started to sense that tension.
Violence in Jammu and Kashmir, usually terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir is cyclical. You have some years of peace, and then suddenly there is a new spurt in violence. Now that lasts for again another cycle of a year or two, and then again for a couple of years there's silence. It depends on two things. One, the how long does this radicalization process go on? The fact that this time it's not some illiterate, madarsa chap kind of an individual who's carrying out terror attacks, but highly educated doctors who've been radicalized. But then, if you see, there's a long history of highly educated doctors and engineers who are radicalized and who stop thinking and are indoctrinated and then carry out these attacks. We've had a long history of that. You'd recall in Indian Mujahideen, there have been instances of highly educated engineers who are working for multinational companies, earning in many lakhs every month, but that was only their daytime job. Nighttime they were moonlighting as terrorists or masquerading as terrorists.
Right.
As Kamal will tell you better, there's this concept of hybrid terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir post Article 370 abrogation, where their daytime job would even be with the government in instances or working in multinational companies. They would be given a pistol or a grenade. They'd carry out the attack, return the pistol and grenade to the overground workers, and then come back and join mainstream. Now, detecting those terrorists is the hardest in society, and that is why de-radicalization by the
Right.
Muslim community itself and by others needs to be done at a very rapid pace across the country.